All right. Finally.
Finally.
We've been in here for what, an hour now?
An hour, yeah.
All right, Mark here, everybody, with Military Grade Metal and Wavestream Live. I've got Chuck Vans in studio today.
Hello,
with
everyone.
Me. We got a lot to talk about. I think we already talked about a lot. But one of the things, obviously, that we're here doing today is promoting the Chingon Festival coming up August 19th. Now, for those of you who know Chuck, you know that he's involved in just about every music event in the city, it seems like. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's got to be exhausting.
It is, especially working a 60-hour-a-week day job.
What's the day job?
I work for a beer distributor.
Oh my God! Yeah,
selling beer.
You're on the hustle like the rest of us.
Yeah, find time every night, staying up late, waking up early.
Dude, it's the late nights that are starting to get me. I think the Memorial Day Metal Fest.
Yeah.
I was there probably 11 o'clock in the morning. I got back home maybe 2:30 every night, and dude, on day 3.
You're just out of it.
I was there. I was done.
I'm done.
Yeah, the hustle gets real, especially when you got that full-time day job.
Yeah.
Well, back to Chingon. So we want to get Chuck out there definitely if you have the time to make it.
I will be out there August 19th at 500 Carolina Street.
Yes.
Right there.
Right there. Here, let me do one of those fancies. Yep.
And obviously for my show beforehand, probably a week or two before, I'm going to get you, JC, RT, probably Steve from Texas Bearded Cartel.
Yep, Steve Perez.
Have a big interview.
Yes, do a party style.
Yeah, big interview. Play some of the bands that are going to be on there.
Perfect. Awesome.
And we'll get everybody the info on how to get out there.
Chuck, I got to tell you, that's one of my favorite parts about this particular show. There's a lot of Wavestream Live from the beginnings here. For example, we got Agony on here. Agony was the second band I had in this live room right here, and they came in, were super confident. They crushed their performance. The stream was great, and they were in here on the right day. Julian came in here. We were working on their Lee Jackson song that they were doing for him. Lee did the mix on it, and it's released now. I'll throw the Spotify link down here too. Julian came in, we were having a couple of drinks, talking about Chingon, and Agony was like, well, do you guys need somebody to play?
What's this Chingon Fest?
And just like that, man, you know? And we were just talking about this too earlier, guys, like, it's not all on the internet. You can't just go on the internet and be only there. You gotta be present. You gotta come out to the studio. You gotta meet the Chuck Vanses and the Mark Tomlins and be a part of the community, and then things start happening. So yeah, just like that, dude. Agony's on. Carterized is on.
I love Carterized. I play them all the time.
Dude, I do too.
Play them all the time.
I did sound for them at Chancla on that side stage. Awesome group of dudes, and I love how about the community they are.
Oh, they totally are.
Dude,
completely.
It's all 100% deathcore and Southside.
And if you've seen any of their music videos,
you know right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
I just did their promo for Chingon, and I was like, yeah, pretty much lines up. So the other cool thing, yes, we definitely went above and beyond on the metal side. We got Within the Ruins. I think everybody's stoked for Within the Ruins. I know I fucking am. And it's on a little run. They're doing Impending Doom the night before at Come and Take It Live. And the next night they're coming down here for the old Chingon. So metalheads, we got you covered. But we also have some Tejano artists on there. Lee Valentine, Tarasco Tropical.
Love them.
Dude, Lee has been integral with Chingon. He's done all this. This was actually a Come and Take It Productions flyer, but the artist announcement flyers with the skull with the sombrero in the back, all Lee.
Great artist.
Awesome.
Musically and visually.
Yeah, he's got it all covered. We've got Lee, since I have a second, July 29th, Lee Valentine will be in here doing his very own wave stream. We'll probably pump Chingon like a motherfucker the whole time. But yeah, just exciting stuff, man. I think the event is going to be really good. When I reached out to you, Chuck, I was a little back and forth. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm even going to hear back from this guy. Because I've kind of been rummaging through the scene, you know what I mean? And it's a beast.
is.
This scene
it
out
very
here
well
is a beast. We were talking about that a little bit earlier too, but I'm ecstatic, dude. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, of course.
The bands at Chingon, so when you come out there, how do you usually roll through a festival like that?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
I honestly do it very kind of nondescript. I don't wear like a Chuck Van Show shirt. I just kind of
sneaking up and tapping people on the back.
And just kind of, watch and take a little bit of video. And half the time I've done, been to local shows and just taking video and stuff like that. And I'll post it the next day, like, oh, rad time last night at High Tones, checking out these bands.
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit, man, you were at our show? Like, I didn't even know you were there.
I need to take a page out of your book, man. I'm new to social media, so I'm always trying to get things up, like right now. But it's tough. You get out to these events and you want to meet people, but then you want to have your phone in your hand, and it's like, shit, too much going on.
Pro tip?
Yeah, please.
Bring a battery charger for your phone. A portable battery charger.
You had to go there. Rhett is going to kill me. Every time I send him a screenshot, my phone is dead. And he's like, what the fuck, Mark? Charge your phone.
Yeah, that's why I wear cargo pants or shorts out to
Dude.
these events. I can keep a little cord and a little battery pack.
Yeah, wired up. So in the past year, what are some of the more exciting events that you've covered out here? I know you did Ice-T. That shit was awesome.
That was back in 2020
Yeah.
during pandemic. I just thought, Body Count's in the studio and they're working on a new record, so I was like, eh. And I was on vacation that week, so I was like, hey, it'd be fun to dip into the audio archive, if you will, and bring everybody the cool interview I did during pandemic.
Yep.
Talking about obviously COVID, Body Count, and his Twitter beef with the singer from Trapped.
The Twitter beef that was a fun part to listen to too. Check out that. Go ahead and what's the website that the pod is on?
It's on Mixcloud, but if you go to my social medias, Twitter and Instagram at Chuck Van Show, there's a link tree in the profile of both of those, and it's got a link to where you can go to the 24/7 replay.
Boom.
Listen
Perfect.
to all the previous shows.
Yep. Yeah, check that out. I checked out 2 of them. I checked out the Ice-T one. And there was a local band interview that you did a couple of months ago that I watched about 5 minutes of, but both were really good. The content's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of less like your boy where I'm just talking ADHD randomness and more structured, you know what I mean?
And that probably goes from 15 years working in corporate radio.
Yeah.
Doing it and seeing how it's done. Because I wasn't always on air.
Yeah.
Over at that, I don't know, can we say this station, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, when I was at
we'll do the equivalent of a visual blur. If we need to, yeah. I worked at Merchant for 5 minutes.
And, so I didn't always start out there. I started out in promotions and engineering like live shows and acoustic stuff that they would do.
Yep.
And I would watch a lot of the on-air people and how they would talk.
Mannerisms.
How they would talk, phrasing, some of the questions they would try to get into. And so I kind of just visually kind of recorded it in my brain so that when I started doing my own thing.
And you did, so at the radio station, you ended up on the mic?
Yeah. Yeah, for about 8 years.
And what was the name of your segment?
With corporate radio, it's a little weird. It was like I was on from midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And so you'd hear it's like, hey, this is Chuck Van's. Coming up next hour is your Fiesta Texas tickets. Hey,
Yeah.
Whatever.
You just heard.
Yeah, you just heard Smells Like Teen Spirit for the billionth time.
And so this is kind of piquing the nerd interest in me right now. I'm a Full Sail graduate. So when I got to the end of the program, almost every instructor is like, oh, you got to check out this news station, or you got to check out this radio or this label or studio. So it's interesting to talk to someone that really worked in one. Because God, man, they had us messing with like these A/B tape players that we would play little stingers on for like the radio station, and it'll be like KKKKYS.
Oh, that was when I was at KSYM.
Okay.
And that was, God, well over 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago since I was on the air. Since I was on the air there, and it was like reel-to-reel cart machines.
That's what it was called, the reel-to-reel.
And it was CD players. Yeah. And so I did the metal show from 1 to 3 in the morning on Thursdays, and I would literally just bring a duffel bag of CDs. And they were like, as long as it doesn't have cuss words.
Yeah.
It's death metal.
Oh, so you had to go.
How you gonna know?
Yeah, true. Even with the most seasoned of palates, you can still get away with that.
And plus, it was 1 to 3 in the morning.
Yeah, dude, there's nobody that's gonna call.
Can we cuss?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can we cuss?
Nobody. Honestly, it's like nobody's fucking listening from 1 to 3 in the morning on Thursday.
No, man. Not even a little bit.
And if they were, I took the phone off the hook because it was like an old phone, so I just take it off the hook so it would ring busy.
Oh yeah, and that way you're free to fucking roll all night.
Yeah.
No, on the cussing tip, usually I'm removing dick jokes from myself for Rhett, so yeah, no worries there.
Okay.
But that is interesting, man. So when you're on a salary, like I'm guessing you were either paid hourly or salary, and it really doesn't matter which one. What I'm getting at is the standardization of the operating procedures in a job like that. Like, did you get handed something at the beginning of the day that was like, make sure you mention this and this?
Oh, I would go in the studio because now the way radio works, pulling the curtain behind people is everything's pretty much pre-recorded except for like a live morning show.
Right, yeah.
And so I would go in a little production studio and pull up one computer and it would have, okay, the 7:15 break. You have to talk about, hey, listen all week for Fiesta Texas tickets, and that's what you would have to talk about.
Yeah.
And then usually bottom of the hour, you get a little 10 to 15 second little mini break. I would try to look up, like, say now, like Spurs, like, hey, Spurs are playing this Tuesday. LeBron and the Cavs coming to town, or whoever.
Yeah.
Or if it was leading into, say, Metallica, a Metallica song, and Metallica did a thing with Van shoes. Like, hey, Metallica's got these cool Van shoes coming out. Look for them.
Blurbs. So you would just throw out like information that was kind of hip to the times, or obviously whatever someone had paid you to advertise, like the show's coming up and that sort of shit.
Yep.
That's interesting. I don't know how I would do. I feel like part of me would crush it, but that I might hate it.
It gets very tedious and very boring.
Yes, like if you've pre-recorded everything and you're just stingering that puppy in.
And it's like, and literally I would do again, pulling the curtain back, to record, say, one segment, one break. You hit a space bar, it starts the last 5 seconds of the song.
Right.
Second one starts recording your voice.
Yeah.
Third click of the space bar starts the next song.
Okay.
4 stops it.
Oh, that's wild. That's so, the
workflow.
workflow.
And then you just hit save.
It's just so different. I'm sure after the first 5 or 6 times you've got it down, but like in here, it's just so much easier on that. We're constantly running, and then the magic of post-production, right? I just go in there, do my thing, sit down for a couple hours and make it happen, but that spacebar thing. So boom, click, last 5 seconds of the song. Click, you record. Click, next song.
Yep.
That's wild. Yeah.
And then you can even move the wave files to where
So you
sound like you're hitting the post.
Yeah.
Like where the intro and then when it so you can sound like you're really.
What about effects? Did you have like the big radio delay effect? No, it just chunked it out.
They saved those for the morning show.
Yeah.
Like the what was it, the weenie in the brain, like on Family Guy? How they'd have all those stupid horns and sound effects. That was all.
Yeah. No, you don't want to give me a button with an air horn on it.
No,
straight up. I will be honest.
I towards the end of my tenure there, I kind of went a little rogue.
Yeah.
With what I would talk about, and so I kept getting in trouble.
Oh God. That's the other thing about
the
fucking
stuff.
Corporate jobs, dude. Because they now have the power to be like, okay, on this plate you can talk about the singer that's coming to the mall this Saturday. On this plate, you could tell a dick joke and get canceled in 3 months after we're mad enough at you, and you're saying you went the dick joke route for a little while.
Yep.
Yeah. Did it end up
and on social media too? Ooh. And I got in a lot of trouble for social media.
Did they follow your social like that?
Yeah. And so when I got in trouble, I took everything of Kiss off my social media and put my opinions are mine.
Yep.
Nothing, so they can't get me.
So right back into the swing of it. So this year, other than Chingon, I've also got, seems like festivals lately are the thing. You know what I mean? Grim Fest at the end of the year. What events coming up locally is Chuck Vans excited about?
obvious local disturbance.
Yes, 19th year.
I am very looking forward to that, and I don't believe it's on local disturbance, but the return of Brotherhood.
Yes, that is coming up.
Local metal legends and hardcore legends Brotherhood.
You know what? Let's talk about that a little more.
Shout out to Rod.
Yeah, shout out to Rod. Shout out to Julian, which is how I know about this show. So I met up with Julian at Chingon Fest. Great relationship started there. First of all, the whole day was epic as fuck. It was awesome as shit.
San Antonio Warped Tour.
San Antonio. Yes, that was the perfect description.
That's exactly what it was.
You had a stage in the parking lot. Warped Tour was fucking famous for that shit. Then you had the big stage and vendors just everywhere in between. It was
and
just
the whole little segment of all the band's merch tents.
Yes.
Where it was all in one. Just like the way Warped Tour was.
Yep, right in that L across the Alamo wall. Yeah, no, you're right. Met Julian there. Did front of stage security for a pond with him. I think he was a little short-handed, and we just kind of hit it off. And he started telling me about Local Disturbance, which is apparently his next year will be 20 years.
Yeah.
Going strong with Local Disturbance Festival.
He's been doing it for a while here.
That is a hell of a fucking accolade, man. I mean, hats off to you, Julian. That's awesome.
For any promoter, any local show promoter, to be doing it for over 20 years.
20 years. People, I feel like a lot of the younger guys aren't going to feel the weight of that. You know, there's something to be said for doing anything for 20 fucking years. It shows where your passion is.
Oh, yeah. He has a love of this city and the music scene of this city.
Yep.
And so big shout out to you, JC.
Yeah, huge. Julian. JC Productions, baby, doing big things. So, and then you mentioned the Local Disturbance and the Brotherhood. So, through working with Julian, he came in, he checked out the studio, and I was like, dude, honestly, the greatest part about this place is that it is a open canvas for whatever we could think of. The bands that I get in here, I'm constantly telling them, like, y'all, use your imagination. Let's make this stream unique and awesome. If we need to, like, for example, I got one band, I won't give it away too much, but they got white on white shirts printed up with like the plastic logo part being white and the shirt being white.
Yeah.
And we're going to line this whole motherfucker with tarp, and they're going to do like a high school party style music video spraying Coca-Cola everywhere.
Really?
And it's going to keep the white logo part white, but the shirt will turn brown.
Will turn brown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very
That's
cool.
what I'm saying.
Very
Those
cool.
are the ideas that my nerdy side loves. So me and Julian started talking, and he was like, you know, Mark, I got August, September, I think is when that show is. He's like, I got a real big one for the scene here. Brotherhood is coming. And I had heard a couple of Brotherhood songs, never really took that bait, but lately I've put them on Spotify, and I can't seem to get them off. I think that show is going to be awesome.
That's going to be probably one of the biggest local shows of the year, because they had such a following back in the day when they had started, and then they did sort of did a reunion sort of a few years ago, but now they're doing it again. Yeah, and it's good to see.
How'd the reunion a few years ago go?
Oh, it was
awesome
as well.
Yeah,
it's good to see that there's sort of a merging of like the old school scene and the new school scene, where everybody can get along.
Were you at Pissing Razors?
I was not.
I unfortunately was not either. I was hoping you were going to be like, fuck yeah. And I was going to be like, I wasn't. But no, it was, I want to say that was a weekday show.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was a rough one for me. I had a lot going on. But again, another staple, you know, just fucking. And at the staple, Bond's Rock Bar, you know what I mean? I've been down there a couple times, and it's always fun. Yeah, I think the Brotherhood show is going to be good. I'm trying to think of who else is on that bill.
I can't remember.
I'll have to pull that flyer up.
Yeah, I have to pull the flyer.
Yeah.
I just know Brotherhood's playing.
I've got one I'm excited about in September. I just got 2 tickets to Left to Suffer again at Vibes. Man, when I moved out here at the beginning of last year, I did my little 6 months where I got my family squared away and everything. And then I started looking for shows.
and you have no shortage of finding shows.
I had no clue, Chuck. I had no clue. I came out here. We got out of the Army. And I got married in the Army, so we were like, all right, we're going to live with all of our families and see who we like the most, you know, and that's where we'll end up. So we started with my family in bumfuck Virginia, Amherst, Virginia. I love it. Bump family. I did not mean the bumfuck. So we started there, moved to Colorado for a little while. It really just kind of went everywhere, and we always knew San Antonio was going to be the last stop, you know? So here I am now, I think 8 years out. We just got out here last year, and the whole point of moving out here was all family-based. My wife's family lives out here all around the city, everywhere from Converse to Southside to Westside. And then more I think Converse is kind of heavily saturated with her family. But what I did not know was that San Antonio was metal capital,
metal capital
of the world, dude.
That you can thank that to the Godfather Joe Anthony and Lou Roney, who were on 99.5 Kiss back in the day.
There you go.
Breaking bands like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden.
Is that where that comes from?
Yep.
So we're about to
Joe Anthony, I believe, if I remember the stories right, he was the first one to ever play like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden in the U.S.
That is
on the radio.
sick as hell. And it was right here.
And it was here in San Antonio.
You have no idea how much I talk about the metal capital of the world. I mean, because to me, from an outsider that is super into fucking metal, I come here and find that out, and I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Any event, like, this is the thing, any local event like Fiesta or anything,
huge.
You're going to see two things. Heavy metal shirts and Spurs jerseys.
Yep. Oh god.
You're gonna any event you go to, you're gonna see at least one.
Yep. Even more than the Dallas stuff. And being in Texas, the Dallas Cowboys are huge. But you come out here, it's Seneca did really good on that flyer with the Spurs colors.
Oh yeah.
I see those colors everywhere. I see Spurs everywhere, or I'm seeing a pentagram somewhere. You know what I mean?
And sometimes all three in one.
You could. Agony has jerseys. They come out here with some jerseys, and they're sick as hell. But yeah, there's no other place like it, man. And I've traveled not just the States, but really the world. And it's not the scene again, it's very important that I say from the outside looking in, the scene is just busting at the seams here. I mean, it's crazy. You can almost any night of the week go to a banger-ass show downtown in San Antonio.
And what I love, too, is, like we were talking a little earlier about this, like, I always like to try and post flyers every week of the upcoming shows here in town, and how last week Instagram stopped me because there were so many flyers that I was trying to post that it was like, nope, you got to take a break for a little bit because you're posting too much.
I'm telling you, though, I've done those before. I feel like Instagram's adding some new shit.
I think so.
Because it hit me last week, too, and it usually never does, and I'm constantly clicking through there.
And you're stopping me from posting local show flyers, but I still get tagged in these emoji-filled.
Huge
buy 1,000 followers right now for $50.
You just hooked me up, Chuck, because
thanks, Instagram.
Thanks a lot. I'm an eccentric guy already, right? So when I discovered emojis, I'm still struggling, brother. I hit them hard, man.
I think I only use from what's in the favorites.
Okay, the top 5 or whatever?
Yeah, my top ones. It's those are the same ones I just use over and over.
I've been hit up about it a few times. It's like, oh, I thought that whatever you posted the other day was some sort of ad or something. And I'll be like, well, I mean, it kind of is, but tell me more because I want to shape this to where it really does get noticed. And yeah, dude, people see those emojis and they can just be like, oh, emojis. Scroll right on past it. That's valid.
It's a very tricky slope.
Social media. In general, dude, and it's a slope too. There's not much stair climbing going on the social media side.
It's more like spelunking. Spelunking through social media.
You're always
next week on Wavestream Live.
Spelunking all the way through social media. Yeah, no, I'm not the guy to teach that, dude. I struggle daily. But back to the shows, man. Yes, Brotherhood, the Left to Suffer show is going to be great. I know there's a couple of other guys that I've met around here too. Are you familiar with In Balance?
In Balance, yes. I played
Alex Salazar.
Yep. I played on that show.
Dude, he is a great guy. I think I'm actually trying to get up with him today. I got slammed busy all week and couldn't reach out, but He's got Death Grip Fest coming up end of the year at Deco Ballroom, and that's it's gonna, from what I've heard, banger lineup. So we'll see. I'd like to see that Deco venue as a whole on the metal side.
Yeah, because I honestly have never been there.
I've never been there. Crazy awesome.
Videos and pictures I've seen of the space.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty cool place.
It's an awesome space, and you probably have the same feelings about the videos that I do. I would just like to see those videos with about 500 times more people in them.
Yes.
That's it. And I think what it is definitely some growing pains. It's new for metal shows over there. I know the owner, Matt Towery, is trying to really kind of exploit all the genres out there. The EDM crowd seems to be doing pretty good. They threw their first show there 3 weeks ago and almost hit 600 people. So I think once the marketing really picks up and the right people start catching wind of the bigger shows at Deco, that it'll start doing a lot better, because it is in a little neat spot. You got a little pizza spot right down the street. Gas is there if you need it. And then, of course, they've got a full bar in that motherfucker, so you know the drinks are churning all night.
There's another local people know near the old Sunset Station. It's a very like kind of gothy club, Cream. They have one on their original location on Hildebrand.
Okay.
And they're opening up like a 3-level. Like, and it's gonna have like electronica music.
Club?
It's like a club, but they're gonna have like local like post-punk kind of gothy bands that are gonna be out there. So I'm excited for that to open up, because there's a lot of that genre. It's very cool.
Catching
very
on.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
What side of the city is Cream on?
It's over kind of like San Pedro and Hildebrand.
Oh, so
really small place.
I'm starting to see the power in San Pedro.
I say if you're gonna go to that venue before the new one opens, Uber. They literally have 3 parking spaces in the front.
Oh, no parking out there.
There's like 3 in front, and then the other businesses, and it's literally like a pull-up.
Yeah.
And so the other ones all have towing signs.
Damn. Okay.
So it's take an Uber.
That's got to be fucked to navigate as a business downtown. Like, where are you supposed to park in garage and walk?
Well, where it is kind of, it's outside downtown.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going north on San Pedro, you'll pass Sac, all that, and then when you get to Hildebrand, where, again, old San Antonio people, the old buttercrust revolving bread billboard used to be, you just take a left and it's down on the right-hand side.
Okay, yeah, that's another one I'm going to have to add to the list, man. I think as of just this last week, I've heard Haywire, so a band that I do sound for on the regular out here, they sold out my first sold-out wave stream. Great, shout-out Haywire. Awesome night. They are playing at another one you mentioned, Fuel Bar. That I haven't gotten out to yet, but I have heard that on the booking side, they're great to work with because the space is bigger and
it's a very good size.
They have their own sound as long as you can get a sound guy to come and run it. So I think here in the next week or two, I'm probably going to be having discussions. Alex in Balance works there a lot, so I think we might try to throw something together out there.
Sherilyn, the owner there, she's great. That's where I had my Chuck Vans Music Festival last November.
Yes, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. A lot of people tend to like Fuel Bar. Now there's another one that I want to also entertain, Happy Place.
I have yet to be there.
You said it all. You already did it.
But that's the one on Rittiman, right? Is that Rittiman? Okay, yeah. I have yet to be there.
And I want to say they do like an outdoor stage.
I've seen videos of they do an outdoor stage, but I've seen they also let sometimes inside.
Really? I wonder if maybe they beefed up the inside and made it kind of dope.
But most of the videos I've seen have been like
outdoor. Yeah, I think all of them that I've seen were outdoor, so that would make sense. And then there was one more, dude. Epic Bar.
On Austin Highway?
Yeah. Have you been out to Epic Bar?
Not when it was Epic Bar.
Oh, so it's changed.
It's changed owners, I think.
And name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know.
It wasn't really a music